And we're live. Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Presents Meet the Athletes of the Semifinals. Before I get to my guest, I need to thank my sponsors. RX Smart Gear provides world-class jump ropes, grips, and other gear for us all. Use discount code Clydesdale15, all caps, for 15% off your order at rxsmartgear.com. Mobility Movement, MVMNT, is a program that teaches you how to increase your capacity to heal, reduce recovery time, and restore your nervous system to peak health. Everyone gets a free 7-day trial. Our listeners get an additional month free when they use the code Clydesdale Free Month at mobilitymvmnt.com. And finally, C4 Energy, delivering the most effective, best tasting, and highest quality products for you. Get 20% off when you use Clydesdale at checkout at c4energy.com. That's c4energy.com. And I am pleased to introduce you to Mitch McClune, semifinalist of the MAC. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So in 2021, you were the world's fittest teacher and fittest military person.
Yes.
Did you do occupational games this year after or defend your championship?
No, I did not. Part of me was kind of like, maybe I should hop back in and see if I could go 2 for 2. But obviously semifinals training, everything kind of took priority on that. Last year, I missed out on it. So I had the opportunity to compete in something else. And it was cool just by the nature of the job to kind of have those two hats I was wearing. So I got to win both of them. So first time champ.
There you go. And what branch of the military do you serve?
I was currently at that time last year, I was active duty Air Force. I was a ROTC instructor.
Okay.
I worked at ASU. So while I was there, I was active duty Air Force, and I taught a college's level accredited class. So it was pretty cool to kind of do both of those. Since then, I've actually transitioned over into the civilian world, that side of things. So I'm now Air Force Reserve. So still could have done the occupational games, but I'm no longer a college professor at this point.
Okay. Are you teaching at all, or is that a passion that you think you'll get into, maybe from a coaching perspective?
Honestly, it wasn't until I got that job that I realized how much I liked teaching. It was pretty great experience. The way the ROTC kind of environment works is you teach the cadets basic military training stuff throughout their time. They're 4 years at the university, and then while you're in that role, you teach a Air Force leadership studies class. So I got to teach a junior level collegiate class all about like leadership and that stuff. So it was great to kind of facilitate those discussions and kind of get outside of the box in terms of my typical military duties. Definitely.
Yeah, one of the athletes we interviewed for the MAC is actually an ROTC student. And as long as it didn't blur too much, I think it's Cam Crockett.
Yeah.
He's competing at the MAC. He's an ROTC student, and his fiance is as well.
And, that's too funny. That's awesome. What branch is he?
After 39 of these, Mitch, I want to say it's Air Force, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, damn. I'll have to I'll pick his brain while he's there. That's too funny.
Yeah. He's from the Cleveland area, Akron area. He's actually at University of Akron.
Oh, okay.
Here in Ohio. But why I can't remember the branch offhand, I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And you guys will be at the same semifinal.
Yeah.
Professor and student.
Yep.
So you've been all over the world with your fitnessing. You've done the Australian CrossFit Championships.
Yep.
What took you there?
The opportunity to go to Australia was what took me there. Like, couldn't pass that one up. You get the obligatory picture with the koala in the background there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I was always one of the people that was like super close to the regionals when we were in that format. And then like when everything went to sanctionals and there's no more regionals, I think you saw like little it was definitely like two parties. There was the people that were super close and they're like, screw this, like I can't do it anymore, like I'm never gonna make it. Or me, who was like, oh sweet, like now I got an opportunity to get some cool travel in, get some competitions, test myself against the fittest people out there. So I was like, bring it on. So I qualified for that one, went down to Australia, promptly got my butt whooped by everybody down there, but it was a fun experience. And then I went down to Argentina too. So that was a fun one to do down
the
there.
South Fit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think we're going to miss about sanctionals going away is those people that were close in regionals, you had an opportunity to make some money. You got a chance to travel. Now, some of those payouts weren't that great, but got to see the world.
Yeah.
And do a little fitness.
Yeah. Never would I have thought that I would find myself in Argentina in my wildest dreams, and now I'm down there exercising and getting to experience it. So that was awesome.
And so, are you an Underdogs athlete officially now?
Yes. So that was one of my points of I came in with that because I watched your previous episode with Justin, and it was titled, it was all Underdogs athletes, or like discussion with him. So I was like, I'm going to get it mentioned on a podcast. I never get mentioned. Like, this is great. And then you rattled through everybody. And I was like, damn. Close.
I didn't know you were officially there. I still had you were you a training think tank for a minute?
No, I did Mayhem for a while.
Okay, Mayhem.
Before kind of coming over to Underdogs and everything. So
yeah, that actually wasn't even the intention of that interview with Justin. It just sort of kind of ended up that way, and I apologize. That's why we're giving you your own spotlight right here.
Right, I appreciate it. I was going to say that wouldn't be the first time that happened, because last year, with the occupational games, like I won the military and then I won the teacher, and I was like, sweet, I'm going to get a shout out on their little rundown show. Like, that'll be cool. That'll be my 15 seconds. And then they pulled up the leaderboard and my name was on there twice. And I was like, there's no way they can't mention that. And then they just rattled off and they're like, oh, so-and-so won it for the fire department and over to the women. I was like, so that was pretty funny. Can't catch a break.
Yeah, we actually got in touch with Shaylin Laurie last year. She was fittest law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
And now this year she won military and law enforcement. And we've become really close friends with her because of the occupational games. So maybe we'll have to keep following you because of that too.
Sounds good to me.
And I think she's going to be at MAC too, on a team.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So all kinds of stuff crossing paths here. So are you in Vegas now? Did you move from Arizona?
I did. So lots of not only the exiting of the active duty military world the last year, but like major life moves. So moved from Phoenix to Vegas. It was just kind of the perfect storm of things lining up, where like I had done 8 years in the military. I was coming up on and when you get your next assignment, you have basically it's a 7-day period where you can say, okay, cool, send me there, or you know what, I think I'm going to go to a different direction. And I got my assignment and it was less than ideal. It was not kind of where I wanted to be, especially with my life situation and where I was at. And 8 years, like the moves kind of wear on you a bit. You start to know when it's a little bit time. So I was like, you know what? I think this is a great opportunity. Significant others in Vegas, like everything was kind of lining up perfectly where it's like, you know what? All right, cool. I'm out. Went over into the Air Force Reserves. I got a sweet civilian work from home job. So I got a cool home office and just living the dream now. So it's been great so far. It's awesome.
Awesome. Well, speaking of the elephant in the room and the significant other, Kyra was on this afternoon at noon.
Yeah.
And she kind of told us who your plus one was. My co-host interviewed her, and your plus one for the MAC is.
Yeah, she's a pretty good athlete. I think she's pretty well known within the space. Been to regionals and the games a few times, so I think she'll know a few people at the MAC. But
You think?
it's funny, everybody's got their jerseys and stuff for everything, for Underdogs and all that stuff. And I am affectionately known throughout the training camp as Kari Pearce's boyfriend. So that is on my jersey, and she will be my +1 coaching me up in the back. So that'll be fun to have her there. It's great.
Not a bad person to have in your corner. The fittest American woman in history.
Right. Yeah.
So pretty cool there.
Yeah.
I will be honest with you. I follow this sport very closely. I do not follow that stuff. And I did not realize that that's who you were until yesterday doing research. So that's how little I follow that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was just following you, the athlete.
Yep. That's me.
Yeah. So I learned something new.
There you go.
So the workouts have been released. Have you had a chance to look at them and maybe test a few?
Yeah. I've had the barbell complex. We've done that a few times to just kind of get used to it. We actually did the GHD overhead squat one today, so that was fun. I like those movements. I'm very good overhead and on my hands, so looking forward to that.
And GHDs, you should have good power abs. Sorry, had to go there.
Very stable core for sure. But yeah, I'm excited definitely for the barbell one. I've got a little bit of a background in Olympic weightlifting. I dabbled there for a minute. Yeah, so that'll be a fun one. Hopefully, I know I'm the last dude into the semi. I'm going to be the first dude lifting at event 1. So hopefully I can put up some good numbers and kind of set the tone for the weekend. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I actually had Olympic lifting in my notes. I did notice that you have competed on that stage as well.
Yeah.
Did you kind of go back and forth a little bit, or start at one and
honestly,
go to the
other? The only reason I did Olympic lifting was like completely through. I was the kid that walked into a CrossFit gym, and I've always had kind of a knack for moving myself around a barbell. I think I'm not super strong in strict stuff where it was always natural for me to like, oh, I can't lift this high enough. I got to drop under it. So like squat cleans and snatches came super easy. The first CrossFit gym I was at, somebody was like, hey, you're really proficient at this. Like you should try like going to a meet. So I was like, okay, cool. I did 1 or 2 meets. I was like, oh, did pretty well. And it was always something I did on the side. I never trained like exclusively for it. But if it was like, hey, if I can just compete in CrossFit and train CrossFit 24/7 and then still qualify for nationals over here, like that's pretty cool. I might as well go to nationals. So yeah, I did that. Went to the American Open finals a few years. So yeah, it's been, I don't know how many folks can say that in the competitive CrossFit world. So that's kind of cool to have that.
Yeah, you and Tia, right?
Yeah. She went to the Olympics, so there's that. But I did have, I don't know how deep into the Instagram you went, but I did have quite the experience on the Olympic weightlifting stage. I dropped 350 pounds on my head in front of a national audience, so that was super not embarrassing.
I did not dig that deep. I need to though.
That video is on there for anybody that wants to look down. Make sure you watch it with sound on. So previously, this is for a lesson for everybody out there. Like you see Rich Froning do his jerks without his thumbs on the bar, and you're like, man, he's like the fittest guy to ever live. I should probably try and do my jerks without my thumb on the bar. And they feel really great, and you feel super powerful. And everything's fine and dandy until the one time where you punch through a little bit too hard and that bar comes forward, and then it'll drop straight down onto your skull and be super embarrassing in front of thousands of people. So don't do that.
Is that why that's happened to me before?
Yeah.
Not 300 pounds, thank goodness. But yeah, I don't wrap my thumbs.
I would take a look at that video and then maybe think about wrapping.
Maybe I'll start.
But now I don't release the hook grip on anything. So that was a great lesson. Gotten better there. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
It
like
only takes
snatching, I
one.
love the hook grip. I love the hook grip on the snatch. Clean and jerk, for some reason, I lose it.
It's tough for people with mobility, but you do a little bit of extra work when that happens to you. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been working with this mobility movement, and my front rack mobility has increased so much in that time.
Nice.
So I probably have the mobility now to do it. I just have a bad habit.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
it only takes one time.
yeah. So you go. What are your goals going into the MAC?
Uh Everybody's got the generic goal. Like you've probably heard it on here 39 times if you've done 39 interviews, and they're like, I want to come in, I want to do the best I can and perform to the best of my ability. Or you get people, probably the top folks that are coming on to take a spot at the CrossFit Games. Obviously, for me, I am the last dude in, literally 120, 119. I think I was tied for 119, so I snuck in there quite a bit. I want to come in and I want to show that I belong there as like the last guy. Like it's not like I didn't squeak in here. Like I belong with this field of athletes. I can compete at a high level. I can hit some home runs in some events. Some probably be a little less good for me, but show out and just be proud of the effort, proud of the performance. So definitely that's like the overarching goal. I don't really have a numbers goal in mind or anything like that. Want to have fun, obviously, because there's only so many times you get to do something like this too, especially for somebody who's been very close. A lot of times this is not lost on me, the opportunity to kind of get out there and do something like this on this stage. And then selfishly, this is like a goal within the Underdogs crew and everything like that. I think it'll be hilarious if I get mentioned on the telecast as Kari Pearce's boyfriend. So that's one to kind of check off the list. But that and maybe a heat win in there, so that would be fun.
It's like Underdogs bingo.
Yeah.
He said Kari Pearce's boyfriend. All right, that's I get N36.
Check that box. Yeah.
Yeah, so. Nice. So I a couple questions out of that. One, I got to let you know, not everybody has answered that way. There are a couple, and we're not really doing the big names because they've had their spotlight. They got
their own platform, yeah.
But some people have come in and like, I want top 3, top 5, and I'll be honest, I was like, okay, there you go. Everybody's got to have a goal. Underdogs is taking 3 people to the MAC.
Yeah, we got a solid crew.
So, how much more fun does that make this experience?
It definitely helps knowing that I'm not going to be the only individual there. Like you got folks in your training group with Kyra and Danielle, obviously. It's fun kind of going back and forth with Kyra. I know we're very similar athletically levels wise. Danielle is kind of in a whole nother universe as far as that stuff goes.
Yeah.
So it's a little less fun to try and compete with Danielle on a day-to-day basis because you're just getting your face smashed in. Whereas somebody who is more along those lines, we can kind of go back and forth and push each other, and it's really great. And just kind of having that comfort and that like training environment of the familiar faces there for sure is going to be great.
Well, and one of the things I don't think people consider is because 3 of you made it, you have 3 coaches passes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you actually get more coaches in the back to help you all out.
Take over the whole back there. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Last question. It comes your Sunday evening, competition's over. What's the first thing you're going to eat when you leave the arena?
Me and Kari are on a mission in Vegas to find the best fajitas you can find. I don't know. I feel like Knoxville is not known for fajitas, but that is both of our kind of go-to foods and stuff. So we will be definitely doing some Googling and some research to find like a good Mexican restaurant there to kind of go and get after it.
Nice.
For sure.
Yeah. I was at TFX in Austin.
Yeah.
That's where I've had the best Mexican food ever. Fajitas and tacos.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some good places here out in Vegas for sure. The food is definitely something you see, but yeah, we'll see what Knoxville has to offer. But
Yeah, we had Mexican with Justin when I was at West Coast Classic.
yeah, where'd you go?
I knew you were going to ask. Justin ordered it. I just went and picked it up on my way to his house. So it was like
Okay.
Monday after West Coast.
I would probably say there's a place called Juan's Flaming Fajitas that's really good.
I don't think that
There's,
was it.
I think it's like there's Nacho Daddy, which is like super touristy, but that's our favorite. That's pretty bomb. Obviously the nachos there are amazing, and they light the fajitas on fire when they take them to the table. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty wild.
Oh man, I got to try that out. I'm
Yeah.
actually bummed West Coast wasn't this year. I had so much fun in Vegas last year.
Yeah, it's a great place. Like people don't realize that Vegas is very much not just the Strip. It's really similar to Phoenix actually for making the move. But yeah, I love it out here. It's awesome. It is a little bit toasty. I think it's 105 right now. So there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, driving out by where like the mountains start, like that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'd want to spend my time, not on the Strip, but
yeah, Red Rocks is like a great part. There's so much like trails and stuff to do. It's awesome.
Yeah, we've been promised if we come out that Ivy and Jax are going to take us on a hike.
All right.
So yeah, looking forward to that at some point.
Might have trouble keeping up with Ivy. She is.
Oh, I know.
She'll be gone, running, climbing, doing whatever she wants. She's wild for sure.
Well, Mitch, I want to thank you so much for jumping on. This has been a blast. I'll be at the MAC. I'll be in the media pit. So trying to get content and some interviews that coming off the floor. So after you hit that big number on event 1, we might have to grab you and see what happens.
Hopefully. Awesome, right, man. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you having me. It's been great.
Yeah, and we'll get you your 15 seconds that way.
Love it.
All right, man. Thanks, have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you soon.
You too.